Alright, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'll go ahead and explain who I am and what I do. So my name is Jeffery Baker. I'm currently a student at Lone Star College North Harris. I'm pursuing my Associates of Applied Science in Robotics and Automated Manufacturing. And I'm currently in my second semester. So the classes that I'm currently in are motor controls and programmable logic controllers. But in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the programmable logic controllers. So I had a PLC class today, and what I'm going to do in this video is explain what we learned in class today, but then also mix in a little bit of what I've already learned from previous classes. So today, I'm going to be explaining the software that we use, which is Studio 5000. And then I'm also going to be going into how the hardware that we used is set up, in which case we use this Festo trainer right here behind me. And we're working with an Allen Bradley PLC. So this is the Compact Logics model. And then so yeah, you can see the software behind me. This is the Studio 5000. And I'm going to be going over that first and showing how I actually connect to this PLC behind me. But then the very first thing, I'm going to explain this behind me, this ladder logic diagram. And so this is ladder logic with the rails on the sides and the power rails on the sides and the rungs in the middle. So you can see we have 3 rungs and then an end rung at the bottom. If you look at 0, this right here is an XIC, or examine if closed, contact right there. And so it goes across and sees if there's power on this rail, on this where the 0 is. And then if it does, it's going to make that closed, and power will flow through that rung to get to the coil, which is on the very right side. And it does the same thing if you go to the next run and the one after that. These are all XIC contacts, so they're going to do the same thing. But we've also got on the rung number 1, this is an AND logic gate. So that means the first contact and the second contact have to be closed in order for the power to flow to the coil. And then if you look on the rung label 2, this is an OR logic, because the contact on top or the contact on top or on bottom can be energized, and the energy will flow through and get to the coil on the other side. So if the first one's energized, there will be power on the coil, and if if that one's off and the second one's on, then it'll still let power flow through. So this is the ladder logic that we're working with. And then I'm going to show you how to go through and actually connect to the this PLC right here, this Allen Bradley PLC. So if you just look up there, I'm going to use the laptop and guide you through it. So the first thing, you just want to go to Communications. So if you go to the Communications tab right there, and then you go to the tab called Who Active right there. It'll bring you to this, and this shows all of the different communication ports and everything on your laptop. In this video, today we've been using this connection method of the USB that goes in here, so we're not using Ethernet. And then so I would find the USB, drop the menu down, and then you might have a few options, but you got to choose yours. You would just choose your PLC, and then you're going to click download or go online if you have the option. If that doesn't work, then you need to set the project path to that and then download or go online. So it takes you to this screen where it says download. Before you can do download, on the PLC itself, in this little slot, you have to open this. And then you'll see 3 options that say run, REM, and program. So you're going to want to have that switch flip down to the program. And then you'll click download. Okay. And then, so now you've downloaded the program onto the PLC. And then you'll want to switch this toggle switch on the inside of the PLC to run. So that'll also change what it says on your software, and that'll also say run. So now it's ready. And so if you look at this right here, we have all these different inputs up top right here, and then these down here are outputs. So for this first one, for this first run, we have power coming into the switch, and then coming out of this switch, going into this port 0 right here, this input. And then so you can see over here. So that's what that is, the 0. And then this, all of these mean input. If this says O, then that would mean an output. So these contacts have to be inputs. And these right here are outputs. So the way this is going to work is whenever I flip the switch, there's going to be power flowing through that contact, and it's going to examine if closed, which means it's going to look for a 1, which it will have a 1 because that means there's power going there. And then it'll allow power to flow through the rung and energize the coil, in which the coil is coming out right here, out of the output, and going into this light right here. Okay. So that's how that's going to work. Before we do that though, we need to energize this panel, in which you would press this button. So make sure this is reset, your emergency is reset. Click the on button. Now this is active. And then you can just flip the switch and this light turns on. So we'll go to the next rung. You'll see the rung labeled 1. That's an AND gate, so they both have to be activated before the coil can be energized. So we've got that run into these 2 buttons. So if you press one button, you see none of the lights are active. You press the other button, it's still not active. You had to push both of them at the same time before it can activate. So that's that second rung, or rung number 1, that's labeled rung number 1. Now we'll move to the rung labeled 2, in which that's an OR gate. So instead of having to have both of them activated, you can just have one of them activated. But we ran those through 2 toggle switches, which are right here. So you flip one of them on, and the light comes on. You flip the other one on, and the light still comes on. And you can have both of them on. So I just turned it off like that. Yeah, so this was our first time being able to get into the software, but then simultaneously also be able to connect it via USB and upload it to a PLC. So I'm very excited that I got to learn this. And then I'm also hoping that it helps you in your future endeavors, and if you're working on anything like this, yeah, I hope this video can help some. So yeah, I think that's all I've got for y'all. Make sure to check out my website for sure. It's jlb-robotics.me. And that has all, it's just a personal portfolio website if you're interested. And so, yeah, thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.